I want to help you create better composition in your photography. And for great photography composition, take a look at the old painters. Yeah, they knew how to do it. And that's because they knew how to tell a story. And you can learn an awful lot from that. Hello and welcome back to the channel, all our lovely subscribers. And if you would like to know the secret to inner peace and tranquility, just bash the button below and subscribe. If they believe that, they'll believe anything. Subscribing is free and it just means my videos will be easy to find in your subs folder. Now I want to talk about composition, and I'm guessing already you think I'm about to break into a rule of thirds grid, Fibonacci overlays, and prove the indisputable math that is good composition. Well, no, I'm not actually, because there are a gazillion videos here on YouTube telling you about mathematical rules to help you compose a picture. And in my humble opinion, most of those are rubbish. Because, and here's the rub, photography is not about maths. It's an art. The beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And more to the point, a boring picture composed in a very methodical and accurate way is still a boring picture. As the old saying goes, you can't polish it. No, I think composition should start well before you look through the viewfinder. Good composition for me starts with storytelling. And to understand that, we need to go back in time to the painters of yesteryear. First, we'll have a look at this landscape image. It's an Italian scene by the influential English artist James Baker Pine. And so what do you see? Go on, go for it. Pause the video for a second here, right now, and write down what you see in this painting. Ah, right, well, here's my take on it. Superficially, it's a scene at sundown with a beautiful pink and yellow sky, very much in the school of Turner. There's a stream creating a meandering leading line for perspective, and it does use the rule of thirds. Look, the background, the cliff, the tree, all balanced within the rule of thirds. But take a closer look and it begins to tell you a story too. Let's start with the natural scene, the greenery clinging to the hillside, the stream, water, the giver of life, and then towering up above them on the hilltops, we see the town, maybe a city, rising high, covering up to the very edge of the flat land, eating away the natural landscape. And then the bridge look in the background. It tells us of the need to fill the city with people, and that's where they're coming in. And in the foreground, we see building blocks and a solitary tree. Was this where the stonemasons carved the blocks to build that city? Was it cleared of trees for the wagons to bring the stones in for carving? And now the city's built, the blocks lay strewn, unneeded in the water. And finally the couple, surely a love story. They sit under a tree, their love mirroring the beauty of nature. We can see the tree climbing towards the light, growing, fed from beneath. And we know that as time passes, the couple may get stronger. The tree will get stronger and the stream will turn the blocks to dust and nature will prevail. You see, this might look like a simple landscape, but for me it's telling a huge, meaningful story about nature, about the modern world. Well, I say modern. With global warming, we're talking about urbanisation of nature every single day. But believe it or not, this picture was painted way back. So what's it got to do with photography? Well, the artist here has created a scene so powerful, it's telling you a story. And that is something that you can do in your photography. Don't just take a likeness of a person, talk to them, find out about them and use your photography to tell their story. Now here's a picture I did. It's a portrait of a woman called Sarah Edwards, and now her son Duncan Edwards is one of the greatest footballers England has ever seen. He played for Man United in England. He was one of the legendary Busby Babes and he was killed in the Munich air crash disaster in 1958. So I did this portrait of her here, and I got her sitting underneath a portrait of him, always in the shadow of her famous son, always reminded by what could have been and what happened. The lights are out on the wall, look, and she sits alone, dwarfed by the room, sipping her glass of beer, lost in contemplation. Does it dull the pain? She looks small and vulnerable. She faces towards the natural light, suggesting time is marching on. But just notice the doorway quietly sitting in the shadows behind her. I could, of course, have done a nice portrait of just her, head and shoulders, blurred the background, but I wanted to tell her story. So why don't you give storytelling a chance in the next one of your photographs? You'll need to think about it beforehand, you'll need to plan your image, and you'll need to plan what you want to say. But I know you'll create an image of excellence if you do that. You see, I believe the best portraits tell you something about a person. In fact, I've done a video just about that. And if you want to see your photography game move into the next level, then you can watch that video by clicking on this link here.